You ever have that feeling where you know all the facts about something, but you still feel completely lost? Well, today we're diving into a really familiar story to uncover a kind of hidden process for how we go from just knowing things to truly understanding them. It's a journey, really, from total confusion to amazing clarity, and it all starts in a place you might not expect. So our story kicks off with this pretty harsh line, right? "Oh, foolish ones and slow of heart." I mean, can you imagine hearing that? These two disciples had a front row seat to some of the most world-changing events in history, but they weren't enlightened. They were just confused. They had all the facts, but absolutely none of the meaning. So how do you get from that kind of a deep confusion to profound clarity? Well, it turns out there's a process, and we're going to follow their journey through these 5 stages. We'll start on a road of confusion, then we'll see the art of interpretation at work, what it means to have your mind opened, what causes that burning heart of understanding, and finally, what all this teaches us about redeeming the time. Okay, so let's begin right where they did, on a road, walking away from the very place where everything happened, just feeling totally lost and dejected. Try to put yourself in their shoes for a second. Their entire worldview, everything they thought was going to happen, had just been completely shattered. Imagine that feeling. They're just walking, replaying every moment, trying to piece it all together. It's like they've got all the puzzle pieces dumped on the table in front of them, but they just cannot see the big picture. And this is where the journey to understanding really kicks off. As they're walking and talking, a guide joins them. They have no idea who he is, but he's about to take the first absolutely crucial step in turning their confusion into clarity. Now, this mysterious stranger doesn't just give them the answer. No, he does something way more powerful. He takes them back through the scriptures, stuff they already knew, and starts connecting the dots, weaving all these separate stories into one single coherent story. And the original text uses this fascinating word to describe what he's doing. The Greek word is Diermeneuo. Now, this isn't just explaining. It comes from dia, which means through, and Hermeneuo, that's actually the root of our word hermeneutics, the art of interpretation. So think of it as a deep dive, an interpretation that goes through every single piece of the story to show how it all connects. He was basically translating all these fragmented events into a language of meaning they could finally grasp. But here's a fascinating twist. Even after this masterful, thorough explanation, something was still missing. A perfect explanation, believe it or not, isn't always enough on its own. A second, totally separate action had to happen. So after that incredible explanation, the scripture says something amazing. It says he opened their minds. And notice, this is a separate action from the explanation. It's such a profound idea. You can have all the information perfectly laid out for you, but you still need the capacity to actually receive it. And the Greek for this is just perfect. Dianoigo. There's that prefix dia again, meaning completely, combined with anago, to open. So this isn't just cracking a door a little bit. This is swinging it wide open. The explanation, that Diermeneuo, was the key. But this act of dianago was what actually turned the lock and unlocked their understanding for good. And this is the moment where everything changes. When a thorough explanation meets a fully opened mind, the result isn't just some intellectual agreement, it's something so much deeper, something you can actually feel. Looking back on the whole experience, this is how they described it. Not, wow, didn't that make a lot of sense? But did not our heart burn within us? This is the signature of true understanding. It moves from the head to the heart. It's this internal fire of clarity and passion. The word for burn here is kaino, and we're not talking about a gentle warmth like a cozy fireplace. This means to be set on fire. It's an active, consuming, powerful feeling. This tells us their new understanding wasn't just passive information. It was living energy, fueling them with a whole new sense of purpose. And this brings us to the final word for the understanding they got, syniemi. I think this word is just beautiful. It literally means to send together. Imagine that. All the separate pieces of information, the prophecies, the events, the explanation, suddenly being sent together in the mind to create one single, coherent, brilliant picture. That is true understanding. So here it is, the whole roadmap to understanding. It's a 3-step process. First, you need that thorough explanation, the Diermeneuo. Second, the mind has to be opened to actually receive it, the dianogo. And that leads to the final result, a complete integrated understanding, the syniami, that you don't just think, but you feel as a burning heart. So why does this ancient story and its Greek vocabulary matter to us? Well, because it offers a blueprint for moving beyond just surface-level knowledge in our own lives. It's really about how we use our time and our opportunities for understanding. You know, the Apostle Paul uses this fantastic phrase, redeem the time. The Greek word is exagorazo, and it literally means to buy up. The idea is that opportunities for true understanding are a precious commodity. Seeking out that deep, burning heart comprehension is how we buy up those moments, redeeming them from just being wasted or meaningless. So what's the opposite of redeeming the time? It's a life of asotia. The word literally means unsavable, from a for not and sozo for to save. And get this, it's the exact same word used to describe the wasteful living of the prodigal son. It's a life where opportunities for meaning aren't just missed, they're completely squandered. So here is the choice laid bare. On one side, you have a life of exagorazo, actively buying up every opportunity to gain that deep, burning heart understanding. On the other, a life of asotia, letting those same opportunities just dissipate into nothing, a life that's effectively wasted. The choice is between a life of purpose-driven understanding and one of aimless dissipation. And so we end here. That journey on the road to Emmaus is a pattern for all of us. It shows the vast difference between just hearing information and having our minds opened to truly understand it. So the question for you is, what in your life is just waiting to be understood, not simply heard? What is waiting to make that journey from your head to your heart and set it on fire?